Alright, so this is a level from B-Star, and it's called Free Free Icier Dicier Remix. So we'll go on is one. From what I gather, it's a speedrun level, hence the quick timer. I won't talk for a minute, or I'll mess up. I'll give it a few goes, like proper run-throughs, and then I'll just start skipping. I have done it multiple times though. Should be alright. Ooh. I'm not rushing. Even though that's the point. No! Fuck. Oh, flipping hell. Oh, thought I had it in. Thought I was gone it. I'm doing alright. Oh, don't mess this up. Don't mess this up. That's where I'd mess up. Oh, look at that. First time. Chuffed with that. Oh, that was good. Well, that saved me doing it multiple times. We'll just have a quick look through it. Just so you know exactly, because it went through it quite fast. It's basically, you go from here, you go all the way down here. Then you go up here. I like how you kept it the same sort of mechanics. You haven't like. There's one thing about these sort of levels. I mean, just off the bat, I'm not an expert in speedrun levels. I don't make them. I barely play them. So take what I say here with a grain of salt. It may not be, right. But one thing I'm not keen on when I do see these levels, and then try and play them, is when the creator just throws in random shit at the players that don't go together. So then you end up dying because you just do not see something coming. Whereas if you look in this one, it's constantly fire and swords and wall jumping, and that's nice. So it's like he's sort of kept to a theme. So you're sort of familiar with all the mechanics, which means you're not likely to come up against something that's just completely random out of place and then end up dying. So I like that. Made it a lot better in my opinion. And you go through here. I like a lot of this really. It was actually quite, it was a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be when I realised it was one of these levels. Because I'm not big on these levels. It's not my thing. But I think the way it was designed made it easier for me to get into. I never really felt there was any points when it felt cheap, like I was being tricked or killed because of something that's been put in there rather than my fault. It always felt like my fault. So right, I think I might just switch to my version rather than because there's not really any. I mean, there's no flaws to point out. So I will say it actually, just because I forget when I switch. The one little bit that I wasn't keen on was this little bit here. So this here, it's just. I mean, a lot of the other stuff, it's almost like you have like 2 or 3 challenges of like say this bit, you jump over here, and then you jump over this one, which can kill you. Then you got one with both a block and a spike. Do you know what I mean? It's like a continuation of the same challenge. This, it was just like out of nowhere. It's like really small gap. None of, I mean, you could say that, but because you're like dropping down into that, it's not as bad. But when you've got to like jump between these two, I don't know. I just felt that was a bit off. So what I've done in my version, I've actually just done that, and in my opinion, that's a lot better. But I don't know if that's my opinion on it anyway. That's the only bit. Yeah, everything else I thought was fine though. Nothing felt cheap. Nothing felt off. It all felt right. So yeah. Other than that that one little bit, because it was the only time I felt that I died because I didn't. There was no warning for that, you know. I mean, how can you warn? I don't know. So we'll switch to mine and we'll see what I've done. I made a few changes, but it's mainly a lot of it's cosmetic and to do with the coins actually. But the biggest change I've done on this is the coins, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Right. Right. Um, what should I do first? I'll do. Well, okay. First thing I would mention is I've added in little details like the windows over here. So I got the impression it was in like a castle or a house or a mansion or something. So I added like just little windows. I've done some more in this way. As you can see, there's some windows here. Look, just little things like that. So we'll go back to the start then. I just want to get that out of the way. Also, you will notice I've added these background platforms. That's not the best place to show it. Well, I'm gonna show it in the other room. There we go. Look, so I don't know if you noticed, but I put them in there. It's not so much for the aesthetics. Well, I do think it looks nice, but it's more to do with the fact that I find that the coins in Mario show up better than like against this background. I find it's easier to because you're moving at such a fast pace and you got dangers coming at you from like a constant stream of dangers you got to avoid. I find this background it's much easier to sort of tell where Mario and the coins are and all the challenges and that. It stand out better. I don't know if I've explained that well enough, but it helps Mario stand out more, in my opinion, as well as the coins. And the coins are important. So no, now I'll start with the things I've actually. We're going to do coins now. So I've pretty much I've kept a lot of the coins you had, but I've changed the way they look and appear and the way they like sort of turn up. So we'll go into the first section and I'll try and go through some. That's the end. There we go. So what I've done is, for starters, I've changed the coins to make it so they arch like a jump. For example, do you know what I mean? They're arched in a way that you move. I'm not very good at wall jumping, as you can probably tell. Like that. And the reason for that is I find you get a better. I don't know. I think it's better. That might be preference, but I think it looks better because you obviously it looks like a more natural way. The way they're like put in there. I think they look more natural. And because they're in like a jumping arch, it's easier to like get them all. It's like a feel-good factor. I find. And one thing I've done, like for example, here you've got coins here, but none under here. Because I noticed you had coins like underneath stuff, and I got rid of all of them because you didn't really, in my opinion, they didn't need to be there. They weren't guiding you around a danger. I mean, let's face it. When you come up to this section, it's pretty obvious you have to go underneath. So, I'm just gonna. And the same over here. I got rid of the ones underneath. Let's get rid of that. Right, that's better. I got rid of these. Again, I've arched the coins there. I think that was just one coin there before. Here, if I remember right, on these sort of sections, you had like coins going like all the way down. I got rid of that because I'm not a terrible fan of that. So what I've done, obviously you do this, and then I pick coins where you jump, and so you don't need them all there. I think it's better like that. So we'll continue on. I think it'd be easier for me to explain a lot of this stuff in the main room. So again, like before, if you remember before on the wall jump section, it went all the way up to the top. But because we've already done that, and obviously the player he knows what to do now. Now it's just a little bit. So I'm sort of like guiding the player a little bit less, so they got to continue on their own. And I've done that throughout, like the wall jumping sections. But here, you'll start to see what I'm talking about with the coins. So I've got one here for the first jump. Then the second jump, I've got none, because we've already done this over here. So we don't need to guide them again. Now it's up to the player to judge it themselves. Now that we've done it once. Now the reason I've done them here is because the jump that's needed to get over this and then land in the centre is different to over here, like the momentum. Because unlike these, where you just sort of jump over, tap it over, here you have to actually like really stop yourself from going into the saw, like almost go back in a way. And it's same here. So that's why there's no coins here. This is probably going to be not very clear, as I'm not very. I've tried explaining the way I do coins before and completely utterly failed. I actually deleted it out of the video. So where are we? We're over here. So we just done this. So this jump here that involves going back, the player going back. That's similar to here and probably here as well. So it goes on like this, and the same here again. So I haven't done any coins there. This is a little different. Not much, but it's a little different. So again, I've done this coins and I've done the arc, so you can so that you can guide the player for the first time, and then it's up to them to do it the next couple of times. Here, as you can see, I think you may have had coins going down here. I'm not sure. I might be wrong there, but again, I've gotten rid of them. I've got one at the top to go into the wall, and then down the bottom again for the jump. And then here, again, I've done a little, even less this time for the wall jumping, and then I've stopped and let them do it. Again, here, look, when you go down here, that's the first guide, and it's up to you to do it on your own, which I didn't there. So we'll go through the door. It's kind of like this all the way through. Again, I've guided the player with this one, which is the first challenge. And I'll let the player do that one on their own, because it's pretty similar. I've left these in because it's a very different challenge here. It works out nicely, I like that. Again, I've deleted the ones underneath the here, because obviously you're not going to go up here, are you? So, if someone goes down there and then jumps into that, well, yeah. That's their fault, really. Again, no coins, because we've already done this here. You'll notice by putting these background platforms in, I've gotten rid of all the arrows. I was going to get rid of them all anyway before putting these in, because in my opinion, you don't need both arrows and coins. You can have one or the other. Coins are better, because you can guide player, whereas arrows are just pointing in one direction. So, arrows are gone. Again, here, look, I've got the coins here for the first challenge, haven't on the second, and then here that's just for the wall jump. I think you're getting them. I think I'm making the point really. It's like here with the coins here. Like, the reason I got them here is because this kind of requires a bit of a spin jump over here. So I've tried to get players to think about that. I think you can do it without a spin jump, but obviously it's better with the spin jump. I got rid of them down here because, again, it's the only way to go, so I don't see the point in having them. And the reason why getting rid of ones here is important is because you want the coins. Well, what I wanted to do in this version, I wanted players to think that the coins were when they see coins, it meant something involving jumping. So every time they see coins, it involves a jump. And so they do that. If you start having coins in places where you don't have to jump anywhere, you might get players jumping because they've been doing it, in other places. And then, it's not really your fault they do that, but you don't want them to do it, really. Not in my opinion, anyway. That wouldn't be a great thing. And I think this is pretty much the same. Again, for this jump here, I've done, obviously it's a bit of a weird jump. Don't really, done that sort of jump before, so I guide them up. And then, yeah. I think that covers a lot of it. Right, there's a few things I have gotten rid of and changed. I'll just quickly go through them. I don't have many to go through. The one-ups I've changed. In your version, you just sort of ran into them, and I thought, that's a bit of a waste. I like to make one-ups a bit of a small challenge. And if I got right, there's one here. Look, now if you don't actually look and go for it, you're not gonna get it. Most players will do that, but to get that, you just You didn't do that, but you have to like do that. So it's a little challenge, and then the other one I think was at the start. No, not up there. No. Yeah, it was here, weren't it? So again, I don't know where this was before. I think it was down here actually. I think you got it again. You got it automatically. Whereas in this one, it's there like an extra little challenge if you want it. Something simple, little thing, but I don't know. I like doing that. Next is the oh yeah. Again, what I've done. It's about the spike I was on about earlier. Yeah, as you can see, I've moved it over one spot, so now it's a little more forgiving. So I thought of all of everything in the level, that was in my opinion the closest to like a bit of a cheapy sort of area because it was kind of out of place. It was random. You just didn't expect that to come, and because of course being on moving platforms, it means it came along pretty quickly as well. You couldn't really stop. And then last, oh no, there's one more thing I ain't done. The skull platform. Here, yeah, you had like a floor and then a skull platform where it slowly move up. I kind of didn't see the point in having it there. Maybe it's to try and trick people to use the skull platform, but I thought, you know what? It seemed out of place. It was the only place with a skull platform, so I don't know, and it wasn't necessary for the section. So I've gotten rid of that, added a gap, since the wall jumping before was in a safe area where you couldn't fall down a gap. This time you got a gap. But you got coins still to, guide you up. I think it's better. Like, I think it suits. I think it goes more in line with the rest of the theme you got on your level. And that's it. Yep, I think I've covered everything actually. Yeah, I've got notes again. It's something I'm going to do in every one of these videos now is notes. Write down everything I want to say, so it means I don't forget anything. So yeah, I hope I explained the coin thing better than it sounded when I was saying it. And I mean, I want to point out this was really fun. It's a really fun level. I did enjoy playing through it. I wasn't sure if I was going to because I knew it was a bit of a speed run sort of level, and I'm not keen on them. Usually what happens in speed run levels is you get like a load of random crap that's been chucked in the level, but so you don't see anything coming. You don't train in any areas. I mean, what you've done well is I don't know if you meant. I think yeah, you've obviously meant to do it. Actually, kind of incorrect. Is it by doing like you got a small jump there, then it's a little bigger. Then over here it's even bigger. Then you got like one here. It's the way you've like slowly increased the challenge. That's what I like, and that's what made it fun. If it wasn't like that, I probably wouldn't have had a good time on this one. But the way you've set it all out it's just right. Like I say, other than that one little bit, that was the only bit I wasn't keen on. Maybe it's because I kept dying there. I don't know. Maybe not. But that's the great thing about doing these edits. I can just change something if I don't like it, and then try and convince everyone else, including the creator, of why I don't like it. But that's my reason anyway. And you might look around and think, it's pay, but oh well. So, but other than that tiny little bit, everything else was fine. Yeah, the only thing I did in this level was the coins, really. And also, I mean, I hope I hope I'm right with these background platforms. I really do think that the grey background, it really makes Mario and the coins stand out a lot. Much better than, I mean, just to try and give you an idea what I'm talking about. Let's take that and take that. I mean, in my opinion, this here is so much easier to see Mario than, I don't know. I think it's because with the open background, you got like loads of other details in at the back here, and it's all moving differently to the way you move. Whereas with the grey background, it's all static. It's it doesn't only anything moving is Mario, and then the coins. So I don't know. I find that easier to. It makes it easier for me. So I don't know if that's true for everyone else. It might not be. If it ain't, then it's just me. Anyway, that's this level. There's not much more I can say about it because there's not much more. I haven't really done anything to it. Like I say, I didn't change any of the mechanics or barely anything really, other than the coins. So we'll come out of it and we'll look at the ID. Really hope the audio hasn't messed up. I've been getting that a lot. The audio messing up, and then I have to keep recording levels, which is probably why I don't sound too enthusiastic after some of these because I've done it 3 or 4 times. You know, it's got nothing to do with the level. It's just the fact I've had to keep overdoing it. Right, here we go. Here's one. Here it is. Anyway, again, thanks for this mission, and see you next time.